Kia ora, nau mai, hana mai, welcome back to your homegirl Corina. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to use the budgeting calculator that I've created. I'll start off right at the beginning. So if you are to go to the link to sign up to the resource hub, you'll click into it and this is the screen that's going to come up. All it's going to ask you for is your name and your email address. I'll just use my ones and give me access. You click that. Which are motorcycles? Oh my gosh, is that a motorcycle? I can't actually see. I got it wrong. It must be that as well. Okay, you'll pass the test that you're a human and then press unlock here. Then the whole resource hub is going to pop up for you and you are going to scroll down to the calculator, budget and financial overview. Download calculator. Cool. And you save it where you want. And I've already got it here. And then you can open it up. So we're currently in Excel. And this is the first page that you're going to see. Just a quick overview. What you're going to fill in are the brown cells. It's only on one of the tabs. There are 5 tabs. First one, start here, click into it. Next one, this is where you put all your information. And then the other tabs are just information that poops out when you enter your information. So we're going to the first spreadsheet. This is where you're putting all your numbers. What I would recommend doing is downloading 3 months worth of your statements, your bank statements, and have a look at what money's coming in and what money's going out. Notice the patterns. It might be good to get different colored felt tips or crayons or whatever. Maybe not crayons. Crayons even a thing these days? Oh, show my age. Okay. So color something and highlight each time you pay power, each time you pay that phone bill, and make sure that one color for one thing. And so with that, you'll be able to tell how frequently you're paying a certain bill and how much towards it. You might want to start highlighting Uber Eats. That could be quite exposing. I keep using Uber Eats because it's a real problem for me. Or you want to know how much am I actually paying for coffee each week? Or how much am I paying at the bakery each week? Because I know I go more than once. So maybe it might be quite humbling, to be honest. Go through, highlight all the times that you've been at the bakery for over 3 months and tally them up. So if you've got 20 highlighted bakery visits, you're going to add up all 20 of those. So say you spent 15, 8, 7, add up all those 20 transactions, whatever the total is, divide it by 3. And so that's how much you're spending each month on average at the bakery. And so you may see, oh, it's actually not that bad. Or you might go, I'm not going to tell anyone about this. So it's going to be a really good way to accurately see how you're spending your money. And you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I actually need to cut in that area. So as you go through your bank statements, you'll learn how much money is coming in, how often, how much money is going out. There's going to be a lot of money going out, unfortunately. And you'll be able to get a good gauge on those numbers. Then you can come into this form. And so the very first thing you're going to do is pop in your name. I mean, it's not essential. You know who you are, but good to put it in. So we're working with Bob and Sally. In the money in part, this is before tax. So if you know what your annual income is, you're like, yep, I make $75,000 a year. You pop that in one and Sally makes $95,000 per year. And she puts that in. If you don't get paid an annual amount, if you get paid per hour, I've put a calculator here to work out what your weekly amount would be. So you can use it in the calculator. Use it on average. Use an average amount. If your hours are inconsistent, you can use 4 weeks of hours. So add up, this week I worked 30 hours. This week I worked 32. This week I worked 35. This week I worked 40. Add the 4 together, divide by 4, and you'll work out an average weekly amount. So say you get paid $35 an hour and you work 32 hours on average per week. So 1,120, you're going to pop in this box here because that's your weekly pay amount. Cool. So that's just like a side calculator on this. Get rid of that. And then you come down here, you can view the form if things make sense to you looking at them in weekly amounts, you can select the weekly bit here and it'll just show you the weekly numbers. Some people like working with fortnightly, some monthly. So it's a preference. You can do that here. For this exercise, I'm just going to have them all showing. Next, KiwiSaver contributions. Bob contributes 3.5. Sally does as well. Bob does not have a student loan, but Sally does. Yes. And so now we move on to other income. The other income space is for after-tax amounts, so amounts that you get in your bank account or in cash or whatever. So things like border income, any benefits like working for families, tax credits or whatever, you're going to pop in here. So if you've got a border paying $200 a week, chuck it in here. Tax credits, you might get $20 a week. You might be getting a accommodation supplement, might be getting a disabilities benefit. Any income, chuck it in here. Okay, so it's worked out that the total combined income after deductions, so net, for Bob and Sally is $2,463 a week, or $4,926 per fortnight, $10,673 per month, or $128,078 per year. If you want to see where the heck did my other money go in terms of tax and all that, you can pop into the fourth tab here, tax and deductions. As you can see, we've got Bob here, no student loan amount. Sally, you can see student loan amount because we selected that she has a student loan. So you can see annually, $14,000 gets taken out of Bob's amount and $21,000 gets taken out of Sally's. What I might do is I might add in a total just to really annoy you. Like, we get how much is taken away from us? But maybe I'll add that in. So when you see this, you'll likely see a total amount here, adding both Bob and Sally's total together. Okay, back to the board. Now we move down to expenses. So this is the whole exercise we did with the bank statements. You're pretty clear on how much you're paying towards everything now. Okay, so let's work through it. I've done it so that you don't have to add up what your monthly amount is, because I found in a lot of calculators it asks you for one specific frequency, and then now you're trying to add up like, okay, if I pay weekly, what is that monthly? And it's just it's hoo-ha. So I've done it in 4 separate columns so that you can just put in as you pay it and it'll do all the work for you, because smarter, not harder, right? Does the mahi. Okay. So rent, let's say we pay $700 per week. Internet is $80. We got phone plans. One is on a 40, one is on a 30. Cool. Car insurance, let's say 40. They've only got one car. Contents if you pay it. Let's go 20. Health insurance, let's say it's 60. Life, I don't know, 80. Pet insurance if you pay it. Daycare. If you make credit card payments, the amount that you pay towards it. So maybe you put 40 towards it. If you've got any afterpay payment plans, it's like a personal loan or something, maybe 30. If you've got a car loan, that's one that a lot of people have. We've got 40. We've got them all in here. Then we go down here, how much you spend on groceries at the supermarkets. And then you've got, or you may, do you know what? You might go, yeah, we spend 300 at the grocery store. Oh my goodness. We pay 300 at the grocery store. And then we also pay $50 at the butcher and then $50 at the fruit shop. So maybe that's what you're doing. You can pop that in there. So if you want to put in more than one weekly amount, you just go equals amount plus amount plus amount, whatever it is. Okay, so power 280. I'm just making up any numbers at this stage. 100. Say you spend $100. Parking, you don't pay parking. WAF 88, I think, is the BTNZ. No, it's not BTNZ anymore, is it? Anyway, Rego, is it like 138? Something like that. You gotta have your own numbers. I don't know why I'm spending so much time, but work your way through it. Let's go. Sports, extracurricular activities if your kids are playing extra sports that cost money. Hair treatments if you're doing haircuts. So Bob's getting a haircut every month. And Sully's also getting a haircut. Was it $80 or something? $40 is not reasonable for a lady haircut. I don't know. I don't really get my hair cut often. Let's just go 30 and 60. Clothing and shoes. This will be different for everyone. You know, I'm a thrifter and don't really spend too much money on clothes. So mine's going to be very different to a lot of people's probably. Like 200, no, it's like $300. I guess the kids though. Let's just go like $500 a year. I don't know. $500 is like how much a uniform is. Isn't that wild? Tithing, if you pay that, let's just say 200. Dining out, takeaways. And you've worked this out from your bank statement. So just pop it in here. I'm going to say, I don't know, 60. Like one meal. Okay, so if you've got a gym membership, that's 30. And then you've got a Netflix, that's 30. And then some other membership, that's 30 a fortnight. Put them in there. This section here about the future mortgage payments and stuff, I've put it specifically in here for when you're looking at if you can buy a house, if you're going down that route, which is what this channel's about. But if you're just using this form for budgeting, just leave it out, ignore it, doesn't exist. Otherwise, it'll work alongside your can you pass the bank test calculator, and I'll cover it off in that instructional video. Okay, anything other? If there's anything else that you've missed out that you know that you paid for because you went through statements and it's not on here, you can just write it in here. Cool. Going down to deposit. So KiwiSaver. Go and have a look at what your KiwiSaver balance is. It might be through your bank. It might be through a different provider. Let's say Bob's at 80,000 and Sally is at 40,000. And they've got some like really cool auntie who wants to give them $20,000. And their savings is $2,000 because they're just finding their feet. 2,000 is pretty good as well. Working your way up. Accessible superannuation. So there's certain companies that has a superannuation that gets paid, and they allow withdrawal for home ownership. So if that's you can pop it in there. Okay, debt. Anything that is a credit card or has a revolving credit, which just means if you pay some back, it means that you can access that money again if you want. Versus personal loan, if you pay it back, it's just paid back. You can't get that money back. It's just paying it down. That's called a revolving credit. And any store cards. Okay, so those are the ones that are going here. So let's say you've got a gym visa. That's a popular one. Not popular because I think you should go and do it, and lots of people, as in I know that a lot of people have debt with gym visa. Let's just say the balance, which is how much is owing, is 4,000. But the limit on there is 8,000. And the frequency that they pay into it is monthly, and it's like 180. The interest rate is 28% or something, I think. Years left on term, no years left for this one. But if they were like a 0% interest term, you can pop it in here, and no early payment fee. Just ignore the DSR monthly amount. That's for the home buying calculator. So you just ignore that for now. Okay, and then you've got a car loan. You went to Heartland. I say that one all the time. This is not advertising. Heartland, say you've got 11,000 left. The original amount was 15,000. And your repayment amount is fortnightly 40. Now the numbers aren't going to stack up because I'm not doing any math right now. I'm just kind of throwing them out of the air, but you put them in as they are. 8.95%, and there's 4 years left. 4 years left. and no early payment penalty. Early payment penalty is just if you were to pay the amount back early, would you be charged extra fees? That's all. Cool. And so now, congratulations, you've filled out the entire form. Now you can click onto the results dashboard and it's going to show you, oh, I'll extend that out so you can see that. It's going to show you, once again, you can view it in weekly, fortnightly, monthly, or annual, or have them all up. But I will just do weekly for now. Okay, so weekly, they make $2,463. Their total expenses, money going out, is $1,949. Total surplus, money left over, is $513 a week. So that's pretty good. And then if we go down to their savings, I've included the core, the gifted amount, KiwiSaver, and any savings, I've bunched them together. And so that's $142,000. Total debt was $15,000. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, sorry. Oh, my form works. Sorry. Okay. So 15,000, and so that means that if we were to pay off the debt using the money that we do have in positive, we'd be left over with 127,000. That's your net position. Cool. And then I've done it so it breaks down how you're spending your money. So for Bob and Sally, 41% is on essential living costs, 5% is on the car running costs, 3% on insurances, 14% on schooling your kids, 14% on entertainment and spending, 4% on debt, and 19% on food. So if you were to open this up and you're like, oh my gosh, 41% is spent on food, you may want to look at what you're doing. But it's a good way to just assess how you're spending your money and make adjustments if you see this and you're like, I need to make adjustments. Cool. So if you have any questions on the calculator, just send me a message. But yeah, so that's how you use the budgeting calculator. My next video that I'll do will be an instructional video on the can you pass the bank's test calculator. That's a good one. I'm really proud of it because I think it'll be really helpful for people. That calculator, you definitely need to watch the episodes on what the bank's tests are and how to test them. Because it's all going to make sense. It's all good if you run the calculator and you're like, oh yeah, it says I pass all these tests, but you have no idea what those tests are. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you at the next one. Ka kite anō.